the mighty have fallen. Fools mate. Yeah, yo, got some.
Welcome to Pegasus vs. the World, where I take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and travel.
City boy, city boy.
All right, you guys. So this is off the heels of my response to Dotta, Fool's Mate. And a grip of people have asked for the breakdown. So I thought this was interesting. Off my first diss, I did a breakdown because I've actually broke down, I think, what song was it? I think it was You Planned It. Like, sometimes I'll react to my music videos and break down the lyrics. That's not something uncommon for me to do. It's just people haven't really been paying attention to me until currently, because controversy sparks a unique type of attention when it comes to like battles and stuff. So a couple things. I decided to break down Fool's Mate lyric for lyric and just show you guys exactly where my head was at when writing this. Some of the behind the scenes ideas, concepts. Also, because the outcry, like this song got about 10,000 views on YouTube within 24 hours, and it seems to be very consistent. I'm probably going to put this and maybe the other diss on digital platforms so people can stream. I didn't plan for any of this, and I didn't plan that. That's why they're not up. I was just like, oh, responding to these dudes. But it's kind of crazy because it seems like people have liked this battle and these songs. They're not really songs. They're diss records, right? So, but people just seem to like them. So, yeah, I might put them up for digital release. But there's a bunch of stuff I figured I would break down in here and just go through this whole diss specifically. And this is just for the people who wanted to know a little more background or the exact angles. I saw a couple of reactions. They were great, but there was a lot of pieces in here that weren't covered that if you were a fan of mine, of lyricism or chess, I would like you to know exactly what I meant here. So just decided to do it. Again, I'm putting this out after, the diss has dropped and resonated so people can check it out for themselves. Last time I did a breakdown of my lyrics, people were saying, oh, he was insecure about his diss track or whatever. But the reality is I just wanted people to know exactly where I was coming from, exactly the angle I was taking, and then judge for themselves who had the better record. This kind of YouTube allows you to, kind of not let other people write the narrative. And I try to just present it, and then people can make the decision themselves. So here we go. This is Fool's Mate, King Dotta. The beat was produced by Ramen Beats from Russia. I always tag him. Super dope producer for any of you rappers out there trying to get some beats, this boom bap style of beats. And let's go.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Fools mate. Yeah, yo, got some shit on my chest that I need to release. Cross my piece like a rosary and leave you deceased.
All right, so just to come in like this. Yeah, I didn't know I'd take it back. So
yo, got some shit on my chest that I need to release. Cross my piece like a rosary and leave you deceased.
All right, so got some shit on my chest that I need to release. So the very beginning, I'm letting them know I got some shit on my chest that I need to get off my chest. But it's also a flip with chess, because we're going directly into a scheme about playing the game of chess. Now, it says, cross my piece like a rosary and leave you deceased. So in a game of chess, cross my piece, that's a play on playing chess, but also cross my piece like a rosary. A rosary hangs on your chest when you wear a rosary. So there's all these interconnecting factions. Now, leave you deceased could be a metaphor on beating you in the game of chess, but also cross my piece, the crosshairs on your piece. A piece is obviously slang for a gun. A lot of rappers have said, yo, my piece like a Buddhist, da-da-da-da. So cross my piece, crosshairs piece. It's also a flip on there. So immediately I go into a triple, almost quadruple scheme with the entendres just in the first couple of seconds.
Deceased. I'm bored of all the games, plus all of these squares. Victories upon me, and all of you scared.
So right there, you guys see it. It's not too crazy, but the beginning is so in depth. I let it breathe, and then I go again, right? So it's just like I'm bored of all the games, plus all of you squares. These cats are playing games, trying to bait you into battling them, etc. But the game of chess, plus all of these squares, there's squares on the chessboard. But back in the day, players would be like, these squares, the PIMPs would be like, all right, these squares, these Johns. So it's a flip on that. Victory is upon me, like it's upon me, but also a play on the word pawn. Now, this is where I get into the scheme. I utilize every piece on the chessboard in this diss track.
And all of you scared, taking L's every night, but I'm Bishop from Juice. Baby mama left your ass, now your queen getting loose.
Now with this one, I noticed a lot of reactors would just say Bishop from Juice. And so this is one of the bars I wanted to highlight. You take L's every night, but I'm Bishop from Juice. On the chessboard, the knight, right? So you're taking L's every night, like you're taking a loss every night, but also the L and knight, the knight moves in an L formation on the chessboard. So that's a really unique bar. I didn't hear any of the reactors that reacted to this talk about that. They talked about the Bishop bar, which Bishop, Tupac, and Juice, but it's all interconnecting, and I'm utilizing every piece on the chessboard. But I really like that line, the L line, because it's intricate, but it's quick. And also it goes into this concept of like, you take L's every night, a loss. But like if you're broke, you be taking the L train. Smoking L's, like there's a lot of things there, but immediately it's the L move, the move that a knight makes in chess. So, and then we go to Bishop from Juice, baby mama left your ass, now your queen getting loose. And so this queen scheme, I want to break that down as well, because people are thinking, oh, you're clowning his baby mom or da-da-da-da. But there's multiple things here. I don't even know if he has a baby mom. If we're just keeping it honest, this is just a personal, that sometimes I have this intuition, yeah, he probably does, da-da-da, from things I see. But I want to tell you guys the exact angle, but I'm going to let it play.
You a rook, see? And this is the proof. Without a queen, you can't win. And this is the truth.
All right, so you're a rook, see, which is a play on rookie. And some people are like, oh, that someone was clowning that in the comments, but to put all the chess pieces and then also rook in a way that I haven't heard anyone say it before, that's why I position that there. And also, he's a novice, he's a beginner, he thinks he's on my level with lyricism, but he's not. He's a rookie, he's a rook, see, and this is the proof. Without a queen, you can't win, and this is the truth. Now, that is like what I'm presenting here is that the queen is a very valuable piece and a very powerful piece on the chessboard because of the way she can move, etc. So you can win a chess game without your queen, but the queen is just a super powerful piece on the board, which ties into if he did have a baby's mom or a failed relationship, like sometimes having that anchor in your life, like a good woman in your life can help you stay on the correct path, direction, but it's tied into how powerful a queen is on the chessboard, which intersects with real life. And so that's another thing that I was trying to display there with that bar.
See, I'm a grandmaster. Better get your head straight. You work a 9 to 5 to get a checkmate.
All right, now we need to talk about this bar because some people thought I was dissing blue-collar workers or people who work to get a check. Heck no. I actually had to work 3 9-to-5 jobs before I actually got into the position to be an entrepreneur and live off of my art creation and business acumen. So first, see, I'm a grandmaster in chess, but this is a play on the checkmate as well because making grands, I'm a master at making grands, which is money. So I'm a grandmaster. Better get your head straight. You work a 9 to 5 to get a checkmate. Now, he said this is what actually made me have the idea to come up with this song. In his diss to me, he said something about fans in the UK be like something, mate. And it just hit me, and I started writing this concept. But anyways, so that's a callback to him saying mate in his song. But it's also a callback because he's dissing all of my accolades, and he's in a position where he's trying to get to where I'm at. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I live off of the entertainment industry. So he's trying to reach my level, but I'm the grand master calling him out. And I just want people not to be disparaged about grinding their job. Yo, that's awesome. Shout out to the blue collar workers. All of our goals should be to become financially free and independent, because that allows you to be more independent of the system and in actuality giving you true freedom, which we all should seek. So when I say that, it's not disparaging to people who work a 9-to-5. Now, checkmate is, game time in chess, but a checkmate, like to get a check and then mate, the call back to him saying mate, but check, mate, it's just, it's just all right there. But again, I wanted to highlight that because a bunch of people, I noticed people talking about the 9 to 5. I got a 9-to-5. Absolutely. Get yours. But always work to become free, financially free, independent, etc. So that was a call to that. It's not really dissing him because he has a 9-to-5. I actually respect that he works and he ain't out in the streets doing some dumb just to be 100, okay? It's not to diss him for having a 9-to-5. It's because he's dissing me and all of my accolades, all of my history, all of the things I worked for, so I don't have to have a 9-to-5, which is the position he wants to be in. So that's low-key a diabolical scheme that started from the very beginning and is going into this checkmate format.
No punchlines, no themes, no subtext, weak schemes, you're a king with no subjects.
All right, so no punchlines, no themes, no subtext, weak schemes, you're a king with no subjects. Now, in his responses to me, he had a couple of punchlines, but they weren't heavy hitters. So I'm saying he didn't have any punchlines in his responses, in his diss records to me. He had no good theme. He has no subtext. Weak schemes, you're a king with no subjects. So it's actually saying he's a king of no subject matter. He has no depth or substance in his bars. There's no subjects there. But also a king, rules over his subjects, literally. So that's a nice double. Some of you guys caught that and some didn't, but that's a nice double.
What's next? When I gut you like a swisher. Robert Houston? Nah, I'm Bobby Fischer.
So this is very straightforward, but this is a callback because he said my government name in his last response. Houston, we have a problem. Robert, he's trying to be cynical, and it all connects right here. When I gut you like a swisher, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Robert Houston? Nah, I'm Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer was one of the greatest American chess players of all time. Now, this goes into the Cold War that ended in the 90s, I believe. But me being an 80s baby, you always heard about Bobby Fischer, his battle against that one homie from Russia and how, it's a really dope storyline. But the real flip is that Robert is also Bob or Bobby or whatever. So like flipping my name from Robert Houston to Bobby Fischer for this scheme was really important. And that's where you start getting the depth and complexity of the lyricism.
10 steps ahead, beat you in 2 moves. It's called the fool's mate. And this is why you...
So it's very straightforward. But Bobby Fischer, when he was playing, they talk about how many steps ahead of his opponents he was. So, 10 steps is just a common saying, but I'm so far ahead of you, I beat you in 2 moves, which also goes to this battle. Now, I didn't know this, but I was like, yo, this is going to be such a good diss track. It's going to end with this diss track. Two disses, 2 moves, right? Because he was making mistakes in the way he was approaching me, just like the fool's mate, right? So it's very ironic because with those 2, also before I dropped this response, he started posting that he is not going to respond, which even solidifies that fool's mate, because fool's mate is the fastest checkmate you can get in chess. If I didn't say that already, it's in 2 moves. You can get checkmate in 2 moves. That's the fool's mate. And then this also goes back to the very beginning. Victories upon me, and all of you scared, because the fool's mate, the biggest mistakes are with your pawns, right? At the very beginning. So I put pawn in the beginning. I probably should have highlighted that when I went over the pawn scheme, but to do a fool's mate, they have to make huge mistakes with their pawn, right? And that's why I put that at the beginning of the song, tying it into all of this. all right, fool's mate, and this is why you lose. So boom, we're the chess scheme, the very direct, the deep complexity layered part of the chess scheme is starting to finish here.
You lose. Truth hard to swallow through your GI tract. Shit is real, follow the money. It's the G's I track.
Right here, just pretty straightforward. This is actually a quadruple scheme, but the way I set it up is GI tract. How many meanings can you get from GI tract? Truth hard to swallow through your GI tract. That's pretty straightforward. Shit is real, follow the money. It's the G's I track. Again, going back to grand, master, master of making grands, G's, grands. So it's the G's I track, grands, money I track.
Fake thug on the record, not the G's I track. Go to war in every song, this a G I track.
So fake thug on the record, not the G's I track, meaning gangster, right? I don't, basically, he's a fake thug, fake gangster. That's not the gangsters I record or recorded with, right? So that's a flip there. And then go to war on every song. This is a G.I. track. G.I. Joe, we going to war. Let's go.
Track, committing crimes, doing time. It's not safe yet. The only dudes who go to jail for a prostate check.
All right, now this one is very straightforward. This is a callback to his diss track. He started going into the scheme, and I don't even know why he's talking about Cliff Beats, but he went into a scheme about going to jail and trying to some rebuttal to Cliff Beats, and I was just like, this dude went to jail for a prostate check, man. Get the fat. No Diddy, man. This the diddler himself. So it's just even though I sound super serious, I'm starting to clown here, and that's the goal, to go from this deep complexity to these funny personals, to rise, to get people to be like, what?
I thought Michelle was ugly. Nigga, this insane. I guess Shrek and Wyclef ran a train on Lil Wayne.
I ain't gonna lie. When I wrote that, I called up Don. I was like, what do you think of this? And he started dying, and I was like, this is getting used. Because now, this is just funny shit, right? This is just funny, controversial, punchline haymaker. That's just, people are going to remember it. And this is actually like a callback to like the Scribble Jam era. You know, I remember Idea flipping bars in the Blaze battle, where he was like, you look like Busy Bone mixed with Mystical. And it was just like, you look like Busy Bone mixed with Mystical. And you're like, oh, that's kind of dirty. You know, I just heard crazy bars that were just outlandish. And you're like, why did they say that? But everyone laughed and responded. That's what this is. This is a callback to my childhood battle rapping, just saying something outlandishly crazy. And in this one, it hit, because I've seen so many little emojis, memes because of that bar, and I was like, oh, I still got it. But yeah, that's a good one, man. I was like, dude, what am I thinking? When I wrote this, I was like, what is going on in my brain?
You to blame, your whole facade see-through. Funny only took 1 horsepower to beat.
So this is a callback to him. He was clowning in his response to me, and said, I only have 1 horsepower. I forgot how he worded it, but it was actually kind of funny. It was probably one of the only hitting punchlines. He only had a couple in there that actually hit, and I remembered in his comments, 1 horsepower, 1 horsepower. I was like, okay, I'm going to flip that on him. I'm going to bring it back and let him know where I stand. So that was a callback to his diss track, just so you also know that I was writing in the moment and actually responding to what he was saying to me, not some shit I've been writing for 30 years, you know?
Tired of the lies, this is where it all stops. Been in shootouts, he's literally a mark.
That's a dig, a personal punchline. I'm tired of the lies, this is where it all stops. Been in shootouts, he's literally a mall cop. In his last diss, he was talking about he's been in shootouts and he's this gutter and blah, blah, blah. The reason I'm calling him a mall cop is he's been doing these shorts and these videos calling me out. And he's walking around, and I noticed in one of them, I was like, oh, I saw the board and all the walkie-talkies. I was like, he's in security, because that's exactly how it looks at the venues for the events that I throw. In the security office room, they have these little, and I was like, oh my God. And he's always walking around looking for stuff. So I was like, he's either a janitor or a security guard. And so this is a flip on him being a security guard, which I think he is. I can't prove that, so it's kind of a reach. But and that's why I say he's literally a mall cop. He's over here on songs talking about being in shootouts when he's literally a security guard. That's crazy.
Ha! You're obsessed with Knox Hill and Cliff Beats. My money's on Cliff if he catch you in the streets.
So just another straightforward, he's obsessed with Knox Hill. Like even in our battle, he decided to address Knox Hill almost more than me in his first response, which was his huge mistake, fool's mate, right? He's making bad moves with his pawn because he should have just totally tried to obliterate me with his first response, and he didn't. He had some pre-written shit, and he just threw it together. So it's just funny how these things work. So I'm calling that out, his obsession with Knox Hill and Cliff Beats, and my money's on Cliff if he catch you in the streets. It's pretty freaking straightforward.
Sifu gave you more than 16 off with his head. King Louis the 16th.
All right, Sifu or Sifu, double there, gave you more than a 16 off with his head, King Louis the 16. King Louis lost his head in the French world. And Sifu, it's like, yes, Sifu, yes, master. You know what I'm saying? So these are all callbacks to the whole Grand Master scheme. And then I just end it with, because I was like, are people really going to get this? And connecting the whole concept of fool's mate to the outcome of this battle. I ended this in 2 because Dotta made foolish moves. He made mistakes calling me out. He made mistakes in his responses. And so he committed a fool's mate. Like he didn't have to get checkmated. I was going to checkmate him no matter what, but he did a fool's mate because he's foolish. He jumped the gun. So, and then it just breaks it down.
To perform a fool's mate in chess, you'll need your opponent to make a couple of fatal mistakes that open up their king to attack. Let's say you're playing as black. If white opens with pawn to f3, a weak opening move, you would respond with pawn to e5. This opens up the diagonal for your queen and sets you up for the fool's mate if white makes another mistake. If white then moves pawn to g4, another blunder, you would move queen to h4. Your queen threatens white's king on the diagonal, and there's nowhere for white's king to escape to. Checkmate.
And it just ends it. The beat is classic, man. Like it reminds me a little bit of something Pusha T would do or rhyme over. Maybe something a little Wu-Tang-esque as well. But I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to put that up on streaming platforms, maybe the other one as well. The full music video is on my main channel at blackpegasusraps, so you can actually see the music video. But that was the lyric video and me just breaking down the lyrics for anyone who wanted to see it. People are always going to come at me and say what they want to say. Also, listening to the Fool's Mate outro, it reminded me that in the 9 to 5 to get a checkmate, I was trying to figure out if there was some type of move that involved 9 or 5, because as you know, they're like h4. Like I'm not a chess expert. My dad played chess and I just kind of watched from a distance. I'm not a chess dude like that. I just appreciate the thinking it takes to master something. Chess is kind of similar to jujitsu as well, and I'm into jujitsu, but just keeping it real, I didn't know enough about chess and the moves to like really go for what I know, flipping this the way I flipped is insanity, right? But going as ill as saying moves that equate to like double or triple entendres, that was where I was like the 9 to 5 to get a checkmate. I was like, man, if I knew some moves that would fit within the realm of 9 to 5 schemes, that would be crazy talk. But anyways, yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Hopefully I addressed everything needed to be addressed, and that's a good breakdown for you guys. Yeah, I'm going to stop listening to the comments and to other people's I guess perceptions, right? Because as I just broke this down, I was like, yo, this is actually fun. I think people would enjoy this. So me even listening to people talk about, well, I think this, that, and the other, I was just like, it ain't worth that. It ain't worth, it's like, look, man, this is a cool little breakdown, something fun for the people who were curious about all the different angles. Also, when you write like this depth, sometimes the art will speak to someone differently and they might see something in it that you didn't necessarily put there, but it's still there. That's what's cool about art. Like sometimes people see other things in your art that you even missed because you're channeling. Like I was channeling something different when this was written. This is very high caliber lyricism. I don't always get to this place if we're keeping it real. So I do have to give respect to Dotta for pushing me to write like this. Like this is actually like I'm actually very satisfied and proud of this writing, and I don't always cut this deep with my writing. So hey, there you go. Anyways, you guys let me know what you're feeling about this. Be honest, and I'll see you on the next one.
City boy, city boy.